Well, every now and then, League becomes a victim of some really funny drama. Not one that deals with monetization, though we might get a chance to talk about that one again, but it's more of just silly things. And very recently, with the latest drop on PvE, which also followed the great battle for the tickets to the Worlds, Riot revealed something interesting. Emotes! A lot of different emotes, all of which are linked to esports. And in fact, it is a bit of a redesign in how Riot wants to support their pro teams, which at a first glance might make you think, hey, that's cool. The different teams get their own emotes, the fans can support them financially, and Riot comes out as the good guy who enabled this. It is a win-win-win for everyone. And Riot already tried a similar thing back in 2023. So how can there possibly be drama around this? Well, my friend, in order to grasp the seriousness of the situation, we have to go to Riot's official post, where they explain just what exactly all the emotes are about. And so, here's the support your favorite team with global emotes post. Earlier this year, we hinted at a big change, and now it's here. Custom emotes designed by all the pro teams competing in Tier 1 LoL esports leagues. We know you enjoyed the 2023 season kickoff emotes released last year. For those of you who forgot, it was these. A bunch of different emotes, some with teams, and with pretty much all of them being related to some kind of internet meme. Which is all great, but the teams were fairly limited. So the post continues. This year we wanted to take it up a notch and include every pro team from the LCK, LPL, LEC, LCS, VCS, PCS, CBLOL and LLA. All the teams in each region were able to co-design one emote with the League of Legends team. That's right! The key word here is co-design. In other words, to some degree, the teams had a say in what their emotes would be. Just keep that in mind as we delve deeper into this. Starting August 13th, you can check out these awesome new emotes on PvE. They'll officially be available on August 27th in Riot regions and August 28th in China. Each emote will be available for 350 RP, with 30% of the gross revenue going directly to the team that helped design it. Get ready to represent your favorite teams this year and show your support in style. Now, very quickly, before people jump the gun on the 30% revenue share, it is slightly more complex. First of all, see that asterisk? Yeah, don't worry about that one, it's totally fine. It's not a big deal, it's just a percentage variance depending on the regions. Overall, they should all still be close to 30%. But also keep in mind that all of these changes to monetizations are there to help support the esports themselves. Riot said many times that they are still trying to figure out how to make sure that their esports can actually make money. Because if anything, esports are a big money sink. And so, the money is likely evenly split between Riot and the teams. That being 30 to 30, with the rest likely covering the design and engineering so they can even put it in the game. So realistically, the 30% is not unreasonable. Though keep in mind that is a lot of emotes and all of them are up for 350 RP. So in total, that is a lot of RP to be spent. But nothing is really forced on anyone, there are no sketchy bundles. People know exactly what they are getting, so don't even try to compare it to something bad. Again, that might be a hot topic soon anyway. So, was this the drama? Was this why these emotes raised an eyebrow or two? No, the drama is not even related to publishing or monetization, which is surprising. Instead, it all comes from the designs themselves. So, let's have a look at them. Now, first things first, people know that I am only a very casual enjoyer of esports. Which means that because all of these emotes are based on teams from all around the world, I simply don't know the teams, and I don't know their logos. And in some cases, I don't even know the specific esports related memes which they are referencing. As an example, let's have a look at the first batch. where we are greeted by a pantheon in a suit and a very menacing looking cat. I don't understand either of these references. Is that someone's cat? Please tell me, I have no idea. But also, it seems like some of these emotes might not even be related to any teams. Now here, as an example, I wanted to point out the Vi emote, but I was told that that one was actually designed by a team. So really, I'm confused as to what the rules were for designing their own emotes. Because then you also have a bunch of emotes that are just referencing the classic summoner's hand. They don't have any logos or anything like that, which would mean they are likely not related to anyone. You see, normally that would be because while people are watching Worlds, they have drops, and these drops can drop emotes. But we don't really have any info on that, which means I assume these hands are just related to teams that didn't design their own emotes, so they just got a default one. Anyway, they are all for 350 RP, which means someone's getting the money. And that is the catch. You see, sometimes people will buy the emote to support their favorite team, but also sometimes they buy the emotes because the emotes themselves are great and they are good for very unique situations. For example, if we scroll all the way down, you might find Cassante on Copium. You see, this one seems like it is not related to any teams because there are no obvious logos on this, but people will still buy it because it is a good emote. So now an interesting design choice bubbled to the surface. It would be in the team's interest to make emotes as edgy as possible, so that League's community, which very much likes edgy and, dare I say, a toxic environment, would be likely to pick it up, even if no team has a logo on it. As long as the emote is successful and it makes money, the logo doesn't even matter. And so the race for the best emote that wouldn't cross the line has started. So going back to the first batch, and I assume the batches are ordered based on regions, otherwise I have no idea, you can see that these emotes are quite fine. You have teams likely joking about being good at farming and having good economy. You have some celebrations, perhaps some which leaned into cuteness for profit. And yes, even dabbing has made a return from 10 years ago. Also, I genuinely have no idea what this is. I assume it would make sense to me if I knew what the normal logo of the team looked like. But even among these, there is one that stands out a bit. There is a team that designed their emote to look like an L. And yep, you can probably already think of some scenarios where this emote would be pretty useful in a likely bad way. But somehow, Riot doesn't really have an issue with this emote. Even though they removed toxic pinging, there was a whole massive drama around that, and they even removed some other specific pings that were used in toxic ways. You see, pinging bait? That's toxic. Showing an L after your teammate misses a skill shot? That's fine. Then there is a batch where things are getting a bit more interesting. We have a lot of crying emotes and making fun of your opponents, be it by pointing at them or pulling out tissues or just being sinister. But the price absolutely has to go to the Jinx here. Again, unfortunately, I don't know the name of the team that designed this emote, but whoever designed this is an absolute genius. Because early surrenders are gonna get a lot funnier with this. And I can guarantee you, this emote will be popular as a result of that. And yeah, there is also Stonks. Stonk is a cool emote too. And then we're getting into the cute category. I don't really have anything special to mention here. Most of these are just mascots of the teams posing, which is good. But I wonder how successful this design strategy is going to be. At least the Baron and the Grubs are gonna have some unique uses. But that is then followed by another batch where we have some outliers. Again, there is a bunch of mascots here. We have Nafiri with cute dog eyes, which is good. Kaisa doing the Uwu emote, which is definitely gonna hook some people. Maybe even the meditating volley bear is gonna be successful. But the two best ones here are definitely the Cassante on Copium, for obvious reasons, and Akali doing the faker pose, which I think in this scenario it has nothing to do with faker, but Akali mains won't care and they will steal this for that reason specifically. But finally, and I purposefully saved this one for last, there is one more batch of emotes, which is a very special one, because somehow all the real drama is cramped into this one. It is the emotes that flew a little too close to the sun. They tried to squeeze too much money out of their designs, and Riot had to smite them down. So let's play a game. Can you spot which ones are problematic? You see, some of these emotes are actually really good. In the top line you have the furry horn, which is also gonna be used in TFT, which means that this team is dipping into two audiences at once. T1 is doing the GOAT, because of Faker and the 4 prizes he got. Below that we have Jungle on Fire, which is the obvious joke about a jungle diff, one that's gonna be overused a lot. And then there is an emote that might be used against Riot themselves, and that one is the Clown Jinx. But Riot doesn't really have an issue with that one, and it is still in the files as it is shown here. So it's all good, and I'm just saying that one's gonna be popular. But that is not gonna be the case for the emote of 100 Thieves. Because here we have Akali showing off how small your PP really is. No, I really mean, does anyone think this means anything else? What? Is it supposed to mean that your play was a close call? Or that you were this close to doing something great? No, that's the size of your PP, alright? And funnily enough, Riot agreed. That is the size of your PP. And so they already censored it. And in the files we can find an altered version. Now, instead of measuring your PP, Akali just got old and she can't hear very well. Will this change her sales? Yes, by a lot. And in fact, now I wonder what would the numbers look like if they changed it back. Because now Riot is aware of the fact that the players would love to have this emote in the game. And because of the drama, the players are aware of this emote's existence. So mark my words, if Riot reverts this change, they know what they are doing and they are financial geniuses. Because if they revert it, so many more people are gonna buy it now. Hold up, apparently this one has more layers. So after watching Dum's video, I found out that this emote actually has a bit of a toxic history in Korea, where they actually take the specific gesture as being offensive towards men. Riot, you have to bring it back. This is gonna be a money printing machine. But alas, this was not the emote that was hit by censorship. Because in the bottom row, there is one more. There is one more emote that was deemed too toxic even for League of Legends. It was simply too much for the community to handle. And of course, I am talking about the Pangu bait emote. Now, what is the big problem with this one? Well, by allowing this one in the game, Riot would technically admit to double standard. Because they removed the bait ping because people were only using it with nefarious reasons. So if this emote then made it into the game, people would be still using it with their nefarious reasons. So what did Riot do with this semi-edgy emote that was guaranteed to make money? They butchered it. Absolutely, and without smidget of a doubt. I mean, the icon and the pose are the same, but without the hook it is never gonna be the same. Oh well, Jack's mains might use that one. And that is where the emote drama currently leaves us. It is a really cool thing that Riot is trying out. Not just the collaboration, they've done this in the past. But the fact that they gave the teams the freedom to design their own emotes. And they also invited more teams in for the fun. And honestly, it was fun to see the teams trying to come up with emotes that would be the best for the community. Either because they would support the teams, or because we are all edgy after all. It was simply a really cool race where they tried to one-up each other. And eventually some of them burned. Speaking of which, keep an eye on the L emote. There is no way that one stays the same.